My beautiful souls, welcome into another daily read for Saturday. I hope you're doing well out there. Hopefully we don't have any or too much background noise to disturb the reading, but we're beginning with a pre-pulled card, Serendipity from the Wisdom Oracle. So this is going to be a Saturday, maybe even surrounding it, where you feel more of a sense of luck being on your side. There are random moments where your luck really turns in your favor, or you just have these lucky occurrences, accomplishments. I even feel like there's prevention of importance, which I feel for the majority is a spiritual occurrence, guidance, assistance. But it does feel like either way, it just feels like things are in a very lucky way or lucky ways working out for you and being avoided. Okay, now I do feel there is at least some drawn to the reading where you're wrapped up with a situation regardless of what kind. And it's not to say you're not appreciative of having that situation, within your world, but from this imagery, I'm getting that you will want to excuse me at a certain point, maybe when something, say the energy in that situation is making you nervous, or it could be, whatever else it's entailing. You're just kind of wanting to drift away to another situation, to a different area. You might even find that this is a situation that you see coming with you moving forward, at least for a significant period of time. But it doesn't mean that you aren't feeling at certain points or in general throughout this day, like again, floating to a distant horizon, to a different location. But Treasure Island, absolutely beautiful, because this is going to be a Saturday where you can't help but feel like you're on a bit of a treasure hunt. It's this very spiritual day where you're stumbling upon and receiving these important messages from Spirit. Little bits and pieces of clarity, I feel, are part of this. But it also seems to be a day where you're stumbling upon quite easily these little pockets of gold. I don't know why I'm getting that. Little diamonds of information is what I just heard, or, kind of another way of putting it, putting the message of pearls of wisdom. But come to the edge and happy. So there's something about when you make a risky choice in your life, or at least it seems that way to other people, even if it was more calculated and strategic on your end, there's something about that bringing you happiness. It definitely reminds me of, my multiple cross-country moves of residence. And many people thought I was nuts and just kind of all over the place for, especially coming back to California after, giving it a go back in 2020. But, I think about sometimes when I start these big dramatic moves of residence, that kind of honeymoon phase, and how, coming to the edge and taking that risk, that leap of faith, that was more calculated than people thought. It just leaves me happy, and so there's something about that for you. But also, there may be random thoughts of something that isn't for you, at least at this point along your path. For somebody, it's somebody you dated, a bit back. It could be more in regards to where you once lived. It could as well be, it's more that throughout this day, for some, you're finding a focus coming to be on somebody in your physical reality, in your energy field somehow, whether it's at work, at home, you name it. And or you could be energetically connected to them at a distance, but it just feels to be a day where somehow there's a focus on at least one person, or even again a situation or a situation that is not for you. But very interesting, because some may feel like they're at sort of this crossroads, or you're in between worlds. It's this feeling of you being better off than you once were naturally, and so that's a positive to focus upon. But then at the same time, there's big changes ahead. There's a better lifestyle for a lot, or just more than plenty. And so with this confirmation and reminder coming through that you're absolutely correct, and spirits have been absolutely correct coming through, telling you that there's more ahead for you, there's better, there's more color even. Allow that to, while having the perspective of, once again, things are better than they once were in certain ways. Just understand that everything's happening when it's meant to, how it's meant to. And so take time out throughout this day to make space to appreciate and enjoy more so what you currently have at hand, all right? Because it feels like there's going to be moments where Spirit's saying whether you think so or not, or partially think so or not, in the near future when something that's at hand currently is no longer within your life, or just, a switch up takes place that you may be, partially expecting, if not fully, you will at least partially, again, if not fully, miss, that situation. So they're saying don't let little things like, noise factors, don't let little moments of bad energy or unrealistic expectations, just don't let little annoyances or little imperfections throughout this day get the best of you, okay, or get in the way of you creating and maintaining or increasing levels of happiness. Let's move on to the tarot portion of the reading. What else do we have? Money and career is taking a focus throughout this day somehow. I find that you will want to pull cards in regards to it, or watch someone's reading in regards to those subjects, or at least one of which. But the Sun card, the Devil card, the Page of Swords, and the Seven of Wands, for somebody in the midst of not fully or at all giving into some sort of temptation, you're going to find that it highlights naturally how you came to avoid it quite strategically and even easily, where maybe recently that wasn't the easiest task at hand, avoiding or maybe giving up this temptation somehow. Anyways, so I do feel that you're going to have a lot coming towards you. It feels like it's a very spiritual day once again, where you can't help but feel as if there's just a lot that you're even not receiving at this time that lies ahead. So when you feel that, that's accurate, but it almost feels like another day or a day in general for you where it's like the downloads are going to come through. Last night I was chilling in my bed, and it was a very spiritual night for me. Shocker there. No shocker there. But I basically had my notebook, and the entire thing was filled up with random messages, angel numbers, locations, stuff of importance, and whatnot. And so it feels like there's something like that for you, or at the very least, it's being these pockets of knowledge, once again, being part of that Treasure Island card, are being plopped into your storage bank, if you will, your memory. But you're also maybe unlocking, or Spirit's assisting you with unlocking a significant memory that is going to help you with an upcoming change. But I also sense that you are getting creative solutions, maybe creative ideas. It's like the light bulbs are going off in your head quite randomly throughout this day, and it helps you feel more in the knowing. It helps you overcome an obstacle or two. It helps you accomplish, and even more so get yourself out there. Now, for somebody I'm getting randomly, there's going to be a focus on a tattoo that you have yet to get, or maybe a tattoo that someone else is contemplating on getting. Anyways, but I do sense that you are in the midst of feeling maybe a little bit overworked, or you're on your way to that burnout stage, or part of which. And so they're saying prioritizing your happiness with things like self-care, being the healthiest version of yourself, and making sure that you're getting to bed at a reasonable hour if it's doable, and maybe allowing for yourself to sleep in an extra hour or two, or take a nap. Stuff of this nature is going to be of true importance, so that you aren't feeling maybe as affected by any levels of, kind of Nine of Wands energy. But anyways, they're saying that you just simply need to do what works best for you, period. But again, this is a day where you're going to feel a sense of luck on your side. You're going to feel as if this is a day full of treasures to be discovered, to be gifted, to stumble upon, to even digest more so. It's a day where you're meant to be happy, plain and simple. All right? So those are your messages for Saturday. I hope they were truly helpful. Love and light.